Hey y'all, hey, I'm your girl Miss Nico, and you are now tuned in to episode 3 of Yo Mama Can't Cook. Cause did she show you how to make this sweet potato pie? Yeah, I didn't think so, but you already know I got you, so let's just go ahead and get into these ingredients. Now, first, we're gonna need some sweet potatoes, obviously, and we're gonna need some pie crust, any kind will do. You need some eggs, some butter, some sugar. I use coconut sugar, you can use regular, some brown sugar. I use dark brown, but you can use light, evaporated milk, some cinnamon, some vanilla, some nutmeg, some salt, and some black pepper, but you only need a little bit of that. Now, there's more than one way to cook sweet potatoes. You do not have to boil them. You can put them in the oven. You're going to prick them first, cover them with some aluminum foil, and then set them in the oven for about 35 minutes on 400 degrees. Or, of course, you can put them in a pot and fill it with water, boil them down, flip them over halfway through, which will take about 20 minutes, will be halfway. And then they'll be able to prick really easily with a fork once they're done. That's what you see me doing here. And that's when you know it's time to peel them and throw them in your blender with your stick of butter. Now, y'all do not have to use a blender. You can use a hand mixer. I just find that the blender does it faster. Okay, now once you have your peeled sweet potatoes and your stick of butter in that blender, you're going to add in 1.5 cups of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of coconut sugar, and then you're going to do a squeeze of lemon. That's probably about a tablespoon, y'all. I didn't measure it, as you can see. And then I'm going to add in a cup of evaporated milk. You can also use half and half if you don't have evaporated milk. And then I'm going to add in some vanilla. Now, I use vanilla bean paste. You do not have to use that. I just find that vanilla bean paste works the best. It just gives it even more vanilla flavor. Okay, I just squirted it in there, but let's just say that's about a tablespoon as well. Okay? Now, you're going to use a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then you're going to go ahead and preheat your oven at 350 so you can pre-bake your pie crust for about 10 minutes while we work on the eggs. You are going to need 4 eggs. And if you watch the first couple episodes, you know I do not leave that umbilical cord. Yes, we know it's called a chalaza by now. I do not leave that in my eggs. I take it out before I mix the eggs together. Now, you don't have to do that. That's just what I do. And you're going to lightly beat your eggs. Y'all remember to lightly beat your eggs before you put them in any mixture that you're cooking. And also make sure you taste that sweet potato pie mixture before you add them eggs in, just to make sure you don't need to adjust your sugars or your spices, because once you add them eggs, you risking salmonella poisoning. You don't want that. You just want some good sweet potato pie. Now, at this point, you're going to take your pie crust that you've preheated in the oven for 10 minutes. You're going to take that out of the oven, and then you're going to brush it with some butter, which is what you see me doing right now. And I was in a rush, so that's why I'm going so fast. But you want to brush your pie crust with some butter, and then once you get done brushing that all around, you're going to start adding a mixture of brown sugar, cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. And you're just going to sprinkle it very lightly. I know you did not see me do that. Again, I was in a rush. Okay, you're going to sprinkle that over the bottom of both of your crusts, and it does give it a little extra flavor. That's why you don't really have to do that step, but I find that if you pre-bake it and then add some butter and some spices, it'll keep that bottom pie crust from being soggy, because I cannot stand no soggy bottom ass pie. All right, now I'm just tapping and moving the sugars and spices and things around because, y'all, I just accidentally dumped it in there. I was cooking so many things that day. I think this is the day I was doing mac and cheese. I don't know, it was just like a little mini Thanksgiving, I guess. Then I just take a little bit of extra cinnamon and sprinkle it on top, and then pour the mixture straight from the blender into our pie shells. Okay, you're gonna fill it up pretty much all the way to the top. You don't want to overfill it because it is gonna rise a little bit, but just as far to the top as you possibly can. And y'all remember, when you add your eggs, I forgot to say this, but once you put them in your mixture, make sure you just blend that very lightly. Okay, you don't want to blend it too much once you add the eggs in there. Then I just tapped the pies on the counter to kind of remove most of those air bubbles, and then I stuck it in the oven. Of course, it's in there for 350, and after about 30 minutes, what y'all see me doing is taking some aluminum foil and just covering the tops of both of the pies. I kind of bend it up so that it won't lay up against the top of the pie, but you can also put your pies on the middle rack and then put the aluminum foil on the top rack. It's just to keep the crust from getting burnt and all that. Okay, you're gonna bake it for an extra 15 minutes after that, because that's about how much time you'll have left. And then once you take it out of the oven, I'm gonna show y'all what you get. You get this right here. Now, I know you see a couple little bubbles popping on top, but I promise you, nobody's gonna care, babe. All right, they're gonna eat it. All right, you gonna eat it. Everybody gonna eat it. It looks delicious. Like I'm in here salivating right now. Y'all see me just going crazy with these 2 pies. I'm in here playing with the shit, trying not to drop them, being funny. Y'all already know what I'm about to tell you. Your mama can't cook. Exactly, because she ain't doing these pies like that. And no shade to Miss Patty, but These ain't no patty pies, sweetie, okay? And I love me some Patty LaBelle, but them pies, I was like tripping. Let me get mine on now. Y'all see Sweet Sweet. She used to eat my pies. This ain't nothing new to her. So I'll just like get your reaction. This is what she give every time. She normally don't get no reaction. She just gonna eat her pie and be gone upstairs. You feel me? But of course we're doing this for the camera. So nothing new to her. She's like, yeah, I love it. She's like, let me give my mom my tens because the people need to know. At least that's what I told her. These people need to know. All right, now my son, you had to hold him by the back of his neck like a pit bull, keep him off this pie. He like his pie with some whipped cream on top, and he ain't even getting a review. He just ate the shit and just left. And now, of course, we on to my days. Who's been woman in the camera all day waiting on her pie. And yeah, you know her little greedy fat ass. You know exactly what she did. Yep, she grabbed that whole pie and act like she was about to walk off. And I said act like it because I was like, nope. Y'all see how she eat? That's because she a greedy bobidi. Now y'all know who the head greedy bobidi is. It's me. I'm like, you want some? But I'm talking about I could not wait to get into this pie, y'all. Yeah, I did that thing that the kids do. I was like, your mom can't cook. It is what it is. And y'all, I was like, tell my kids, your mom can cook, your mom can cook, your mom can cook. Yeah, because I am their mama. And I told this shit up. Now, I appreciate y'all watching this episode. If y'all make this pie, let me know, okay? And tune into the next episode of Your Mama Can't Cook. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on all social media networks. And I thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.